Hey friend, look what I made. Huh? You will guess what is it? Well, obviously it's a phone. I just made it spooky looking, so this part kinda hovers above the phone itself. But it's also a light. Check it out. It's not a lot of light, but it's a good thing for the bedside corner, and it looks spooky, so I find it cool. And if you're wondering, what are these cables hanging there? Well, they are chargers, so it's not only cool looking but also useful. We have a charger for Apple device here. We have a charger also for USB, micro USB devices like Samsung S7. Plugs in and it's charging. What else is cool about it? You can just place it here and watch videos or listen to music, and it's a nice stand. Works also on bigger things like tablets, for example. Ta-da! Isn't it amazing? I wouldn't place maybe iPad Pro on it because it doesn't feel that much steady, but it's still cool. And obviously I filmed the whole thing, so in a moment we will jump into that process. Just keep in mind that it's not like step-by-step tutorial on how to build that stuff. It's just a rough look back on how I made it. It's more about concept and idea. But it's not a rocket science, and that's why I filmed it, because I wanted to show how easy it is. And obviously this is my living room, so if it would be a workshop with some proper tools, it would be maybe a way more easier or maybe way more polished up. But I'm still happy with this thing. Look how awesome it looks. Whoa, spooky phone! Yeah. Look, no strings attached, just pure magic. Okay, now the video. Hello friends, it's Iris here and welcome to my hobby project. Today we will build stuff. Today I will use this phone and I want to make out of it sort of like a bedside light with a bit of a spooky effect. So this thing will hover above it and be a light source. And also I want to extend its functionality and add some phone charging options. I've done one of these before, so this will be a bit more polished version of the light that I have done before, which looked like this. And if you want to call it fancy, then let's call it version 2.0. So what you will need for this project, obviously the phone itself, then you will need some electrical tape or whatever tape it is, but that's for just decorative purposes. Maybe double-sided tape, that's always useful. Some phone charger with a couple of ports, because we want to add mini USB and iPhone charger, and maybe in the future something else if we'll have a device. And the lights itself, I got these from IKEA. They have 4 lights in there. We will use 2, maybe 3 if I'll find where to stick another one, but most likely it's only 2. And then it's some tools. We'll need knife, this is always useful, I don't know if I'll use it. Pliers and another pair of pliers, something a bit bigger, and screwdrivers with the different fittings. And a clothes hanger, and this is very important. It has to be clothes hanger or some pretty hard sort of wire to hold this thing up, but we'll get to it later. So let's start building or tearing stuff apart. Let's take this phone apart and see what it's made of. This one goes apart pretty easy. Some of them are a bit more fiddly and require more force and less love to the situation. But this one looks pretty easy. We most likely don't need all this stuff, so let's get rid of that just to have more space inside where to put all this stuff in. So now I'll just taking stuff apart. Time lapse. Okay, we have stripped down the phone, so we have the base of it. Got as much stuff out of there as we could. This is attached somehow very technical, so I don't want to drill it out and make too much noise and effort, because this should be simple. This is my hobby build. The case, in here we left the dial and we left this part, because we will use this for the cables for chargers. And this part with the covers and lights will go in there. So let's start with something. Ooh, all these things have double-sided tape in there as well. Few tools here I forgot to mention in the beginning is a drill, because you might need to make some holes bigger so they fit the cables and all that stuff, and some files to just smooth it out and make it nice looking and all the connectors fit in the holes. This thing is magnetic, which is nice. This connector I managed to get through this hole where the original cables went from the phone. But this one have the switch on it, so it's too big to run through it. I will run beneath the plate. That's why I filed this little gap there so the cable can run through it. Being organized is really not my thing, as you can see. As long as it works, it all counts. And now the part of making magic to make the telephone cable look from the cloth hanger, and it will also support the whole thing hanging there. So this requires very little love, and that's where the other set of pliers step in. So, after some time of adjusting stuff and twisting and turning and breaking a bit of sweat, you will end up with something like this that we will use to fit the thing. We opened up this part here as well. This will be fitting here to fit the screw to make it all stable. Let's proceed to the next step. So this thing is fixed here and here, so it's pretty steady. And now we will put the cables for the light through. These we will just leave inside here. Then we take the phone charger. Now let's sort out cables for chargers. I want to run them through this bit. There will be also some filing action needed because these cable ends don't fit through these holes, so a little bit of gentle touch. Perfect. There and there. A little bit of filing here and here to get the cables through. These things push on cables and hold them in place. Now let's plug these things into charger. There's even a neat little cable holder in there. And we are getting somewhere. So let's run cable through. So cables are through, lights are connected, cables in, and put the caps on. Let's see if it's working. Nice! And now some finishing touches with tape and all that stuff. It took a while to wrap this thing up, but it's done. And let's see how it works. So the light is on. It's a little spooky lamp. So the light and charger works as well.